A single bullet hole pierced the private property sign at the edge of Lena Carter's farm in Willow Creek, Nebraska. It was a warning she ignored. For 6 months, Lena had faced relentless pressure, cryptic threats from the county sheriff, unmarked drones hovering over her fields, and even social services questioning her ability to raise her 10-year-old daughter, Mia. The Carter farm, passed down through 4 generations, was Lena's lifeline, a promise she'd made to her late mother, Ruby, to never let it go. But when hooded figures torched her equipment, shed under the cover of night, Lena feared she was out of options. Then a figure emerged from the shadows, neutralizing the attackers with chilling precision. Her brother Marcus, presumed dead in a classified mission 5 years ago, stood before her, his face weathered but unmistakable. They messed with the wrong family, he said, pulling Mia to safety. What started as a fight to save a small farm would unravel a web of corporate greed, secret government experiments, and a truth that would shake the heart of America. Before we dive back in, where are you reading this from? Share in the comments, and if this story of courage inspires you, hit that like button and follow for more tales of ordinary people taking on impossible odds. The morning sun bathed Lena Carter's 30-acre farm in a soft golden light. Rows of soybeans and sunflowers stretched toward the horizon, while goats bleated in their pen. In the distance, Mia chased a butterfly through the tall grass, her laughter echoing across the open fields. It was a scene of rural serenity, but beneath it lay a growing unease. Lena knelt beside her grandfather's ancient combine harvester, her hands slick with oil as she wrestled with a stubborn bolt. The machine was older than she was, and replacing it wasn't an option, not with the mounting bills. "Mom, check this out," Mia called, sprinting over with a grasshopper cupped in her hands. Lena smiled, wiping sweat from her brow. "That's a good one, sweetie. They're great for the crops, natural pest control." Mia's eyes sparkled with curiosity. "Can I sketch it for my nature journal?" Since Lena had pulled Mia from public school after a bullying incident, homeschooling had become their norm. It wasn't easy, but moments like these made it worth it. As Mia ran to grab her sketchbook, the rumble of an approaching truck broke the quiet. Lena stood, shielding her eyes against the sun. It was Esther Monroe, a 68-year-old neighbor who'd known Lena's family for decades. Esther climbed out, holding a bag of spare parts. "Figured these might help with that old beast," she said, nodding toward the harvester. Lena grinned. "Esther, you're a lifesaver. What do I owe you?" Esther waved her off. "Your mom would have done the same. But Lena, I saw something odd yesterday. A black van parked near the old Miller place. No plates, just idling." Lena's stomach tightened, but she forced a casual tone. "Probably nothing." Esther's eyes lingered. "Maybe. Just watch yourself. Some folks in Willow Creek don't like seeing a woman like you holding on to prime land." After Esther left, Lena tried to focus on Mia's lessons, but her mind kept drifting to the van. Later, while checking the property's fences, she spotted it again, parked a quarter-mile down the road, its tinted windows glinting in the sun. When she stared directly at it, the driver peeled away, leaving a cloud of dust. The next day, Lena loaded her pickup with vegetables for the Willow Creek Farmers Market. Mia begged to come along, and despite last month's ugly encounter with local kids, Lena relented. "Stay close," she warned. The market buzzed with activity, but tension simmered beneath the surface. As Lena arranged her tomatoes and zucchini, Pamela Reed, whose family owned a sprawling agribusiness nearby, sauntered over with a condescending smile. "Still playing farmer, Lena? So quaint." Lena kept her voice even. "Folks like knowing their food's local, Pamela." Pamela's gaze flicked to Mia, who was sorting jars of honey. "Heard she's not in school anymore. Such a pity." Lena's jaw tightened. "She's thriving, thanks." As Pamela walked away, Lena noticed whispers and sidelong glances from other vendors. "Mia, can you grab water from the fountain?" Lena asked, keeping an eye on her daughter. Mia reached the fountain, but 3 older boys cornered her, shoving her and knocking her sketchbook into the dirt. Lena was halfway across the square when she saw Mia fumble for her asthma inhaler. "Get away from her!" Lena shouted, pulling Mia close. The boys scattered, one spitting a slur that made Lena's blood boil. Sheriff Roy Baxter loomed nearby, his expression cold. "Trouble, Miss Carter?" he asked, his tone dripping with false concern. "Just kids being kids," Lena replied, her voice steady despite her rage. Baxter smirked. Might want to keep a tighter leash on her, or put her back in school where she belongs. He paused, his eyes narrowing. Heard you had some fencing issues last week. Funny how things break down, isn't it? That night, Lena pored over bills at her kitchen table. Property taxes, Mia's medication, equipment repairs. The numbers didn't add up. 3 purchase offers sat in a drawer, all from anonymous LLCs, all insultingly low. Each promised relief from her debts if she'd sell. Lena rubbed her temples, her mother's words echoing, "This land is our roots, Lena. Never let it slip away." Mia appeared in her pajamas, her face serious. "Are we going to lose the farm, Mom?" Lena pulled her into a hug. "No, sweetheart. This is our home, and we're staying." The next morning, a knock startled Lena awake. Esther stood on the porch, her face pale. "They're back, Lena. Those land scouts. Suits asking about your property, offering cash for info." Lena's pulse quickened. "What did you tell them?" Esther shook her head. "Nothing. But your mom fought these same folks years ago. It cost her." That afternoon, Lena found an envelope in her mailbox. No postmark, just her name. Inside was a military dog tag, stained with what looked like blood, and a single word, "Hold." It was Marcus's tag, the one he'd worn on his last mission. Lena's breath caught. Marcus had been declared killed in action 5 years ago, his body never found. Was this a cruel trick or a sign? That night, unable to sleep, Lena found Mia staring out her window at the moonlit fields. "Are they going to take our farm, Mom?" Mia asked. Lena hugged her tightly. "Nobody's taking our home. I promise." The words felt like a vow she wasn't sure she could keep. At 5 a.m., a pounding on the door shook the house. "Sheriff's Department!" Lena motioned for Mia to stay back and opened the door to find Deputies Collins and Hayes. Collins held up a paper. "Complaints about illegal livestock operations. Too many goats, improper waste disposal, potential water contamination." Lena's mind raced. Her farm was fully compliant. "This is nonsense. I have permits." Hayes cut in. "Fines could hit $25,000 unless you fix this now." Collins added, "Unless maintaining this place is too much. I hear you've had offers." Lena shut the door, her hands shaking with fury. The next morning brought worse news. Lena stepped outside to find her irrigation system smashed, water flooding the yard. Her goat pen was cut open, animals scattered. Tire tracks crisscrossed her soybean field, crushing half the crop. A note was pinned to her shed, "Sell or lose everything." Mia found her salvaging what she could, and without a word the girl knelt to help. "We'll fix it," Mia said, her small voice fierce. "We always do." The following day, a polished SUV arrived. A woman in a crisp blazer stepped out, Sandra Klein from Child Protective Services. "We've had reports of neglect, Ms. Carter. Educational deficiencies, unsafe conditions." Lena's world tilted. "That's absurd. Mia's excelling in homeschool." Klein's tone was icy. "We'll need to inspect and interview Mia alone." The inspection was a humiliating ordeal, with Klein scrutinizing every corner of their home. Just as Klein suggested removing Mia for further evaluation, Lena's friend Tara Brooks burst in, a folder in hand. Tara, a towering auto shop owner, slapped the folder down. Homeschool records, academic reports, medical files, all in order, and entering without a warrant? That's a Fourth Amendment violation. Klein left, promising to verify the documents. But Tara's intervention had bought them time. The harassment escalated. Lena's fences were cut again. Tara's shop was vandalized, blamed on a gas leak. At a town meeting, Sheriff Baxter accused Lena's farm of being a hub for illegal activity, planting seeds of suspicion among neighbors. Lena confronted him, her voice shaking with anger. "You're targeting me because I won't sell." Baxter's smile was venomous. "Just doing my job, Ms. Carter desperate." Lena met with Nora Kim, a journalist from the Plains Herald who'd been investigating Baxter. "You're not his first target," Nora said, handing Lena her card. "Call me when you're ready to fight." That night, Mia sat in the dark, her voice small. "Is this my fault? My medicine costs so much." Lena hugged her fiercely. "None of this is your fault. You're my everything." Hours later, the smell of smoke jolted Lena awake. Her equipment shed was ablaze, flames lighting up the night. "Mia!" she screamed, grabbing her daughter and running outside. Through the smoke, Lena saw 3 masked figures fleeing. She chased them, shouting, but one turned, raising a crowbar. Should have taken the money, he growled. Before the blow could land, a shadow moved, dropping the attacker in seconds. The others fell just as fast. In the fire's glow, Lena saw him. Marcus, her brother, alive. "Hold on," he said, his voice steady as he guided them back to the house. As firefighters battled the blaze, Marcus secured the house, moving with the precision of a soldier. Mia stared at him, wide-eyed. "Uncle Marcus?" He knelt, softening. "Hey, kiddo, you're taller than I remember." Lena's tears fell freely. "They said you were dead." Marcus's jaw tightened. "I had to stay gone to keep you safe. But I'm here now," he explained. His Special Forces unit had uncovered a Black Ops program during his last mission, tied to illegal experiments. When he reported it, his team was eliminated, and he faked his death to survive. "The people after your farm are Apex Solutions, a front for those same interests. They want what's under your land." Lena frowned. "What's under it?" Marcus hesitated. "A network of tunnels from the 1950s. Cold War experiments, chemicals tested on rural communities, mostly black and native. Your farm sits on one of their main sites." The sheriff arrived, eyeing Marcus suspiciously. "Those men worked for Apex, not Baxter," Marcus whispered. "He's just their local muscle." They fled to a motel 40 miles away, where Marcus revealed more. "Our grandfather knew something was wrong. Strange illnesses, bad water. Apex is covering it up, and they need your land to bury the evidence." Marcus turned the farm into a fortress, installing cameras and motion sensors. He taught Lena and Mia survival skills, framing them as adventure games for Mia. Nora became an ally, digging into Apex's history of land grabs. One night, Marcus led Lena and Nora to a hidden tunnel entrance beneath an old windmill. Inside, they found rusted barrels marked with hazard symbols, abandoned medical equipment, and a locked safe. Marcus pried it open, revealing a data chip. "This could be the proof we need," he said. Back at the farm, Marcus's cameras caught Deputy Collins planting drugs in Lena's truck. Marcus sent the footage to Nora, who published a scathing expose. The story went viral, trending with hashtag #SaveCartersFarm. Public outrage grew, but Apex retaliated. Lena's bank account was frozen, Mia's medication vanished from pharmacies, and a health hazard notice threatened to seize the farm. Desperate, Lena and Marcus planned a final stand. Nora rallied local allies, farmers, shopkeepers, and families who'd faced similar harassment. They learned Baxter was holding Tara at the county jail on trumped-up charges. Marcus staged a daring rescue, using hacked security codes to free her. Meanwhile, Nora's article linked Apex to dozens of land grabs, sparking national attention. Justice for Willow Creek trended as similar stories poured in from across the country. Apex's response was swift. A federal task force led by Senator Elaine Voss, Apex's silent partner, declared the farm a contaminated zone, ordering evacuation. Lena's allies formed a human chain around the property, live-streaming their protest. When Apex sent contractors to raid the tunnels at night, the community held firm, their flashlights and cameras turning the intruders back. The raid was a PR disaster, broadcast live to millions. In a climactic showdown, Marcus confronted Voss at the tunnel entrance, revealing the data chip's contents, decades of records detailing experiments on marginalized communities. Federal agents, tipped off by Marcus's old contacts, arrested Voss and her team. The evidence was undeniable. The Carter farm became the heart of a nationwide movement. A class action lawsuit against Apex and the government gained thousands of plaintiffs. Independent tests confirmed the soil's contamination, but also its potential to heal with bioremediation. Lena transformed the farm into a community hub, part memorial, part education center, with gardens where families grew clean food. Tara ran for sheriff and won, vowing to rebuild trust. Nora launched a grassroots news platform, amplifying local voices. Marcus declined a military reinstatement, instead training communities to protect their land. Mia's artwork, documenting their fight, was published as a book, with proceeds funding the farm's restoration. Carter's legacy became a rallying cry for environmental justice. On a spring evening, Lena, Marcus, and Mia sat on the farmhouse porch, watching families plant in the community garden. A new sign stood at the farm's entrance. "In honor of those who held on, may truth heal." Lena smiled at Mia, scattering wildflower seeds. "This land is ours," she said. Marcus nodded. "And now it's everyone's."